Hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to AEQ. We thank you so much to be with us today in this new webinar. My name is Guadalupe, working as Area Sales Manager here at AEQ. Today, we will be talking about our digital mixing control, and in particular, it will be done for our family capital IP. To this technical webinar will be shown by my colleague Ramon Gonzalez, who will be doing all the technical side and all the functionalities. Hello, Ramon.
Hello, Lupe.
How are you
Thanks,
today?
everybody. Fantastic. Fantastic. Very good. Very fine. Looking forward
Very
to
good.
start this presentation.
Are you ready for this nice and interesting presentation?
Oh, yes, for sure. For
I'm
sure,
sure
for
you will
sure.
doing it pretty well, okay?
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
I want to say that we have a panel where all the attendees are ready to write down your questions, okay? At the end of this webinar, Ramon will try to answer most of them. But don't worry at all if there is not time enough to reply all of them. In that case, we will reply them by mail. Or maybe you prefer even to send your inquiries or questions to our marketing at AEQ.es. In that case, we will reply immediately as soon as possible. Also, I remember you will have a survey before you are leaving. We really appreciate your comments or suggestion or information. Why? Because we recover all that information and then it helps us to improve our next coming webinar. We do appreciate it very much. Thank you to all of you. These are the main points we will follow today in this webinar, okay? We will be talking a little bit about AEQ, who is AEQ and what is doing AEQ. After that, we will continue with our complete AEQ audio mixing console portfolio. As I was mentioning before, today we will be talking about our capital IP and its main technical specification and functionalities. Not only functionality and technical specification, also Ramon will show you the main configuration and all the possibility with the software control. And we will finalize this webinar showing you some use and several applications at different customer locations. Okay, I'm sure most of you knows about AEQ, but I want to give you a very brief presentation about AEQ, okay? AEQ is a Spanish leading company in the development, engineering, and manufacturing for the broadcast application. In our case, especially for radio and audio equipments. Actually, we are in 102 countries, and we have more than 7,000 customers. We are based in Madrid, but apart from that, we have offices all around the world. We are in the United States, Mexico, Portugal, and India. Also, we have our international dealer or distributors network. In our website, you can find your nearest distributor or dealer. You are invited to contact them for any reason, any inquiry, any question, and any information about any of our products. But if you prefer to send us your inquiries directly to AEQ, you can send us an email to marketing@aeq.es. In that case, we will reply you directly from AEQ here in Madrid as soon as possible to putting you in contact with your distributor or your dealer. Here, we can show you some picture of our factory staff, and also you can see some of our customers installation, obviously at different places. At this time, Ramon will start showing you our AQ complete digital mixing consoles portfolio, okay? From capital IP to Atrium, or from Atrium to capital IP. It depends how Ramon wants to start with it. Ramon, are you ready for the presentation?
Yes.
Now it's your turn, and go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Lupe.
Wish
Thank
you
you
all the
for
best,
the intro.
and everybody enjoy the presentation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lupe. Thank you for the introduction.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes, my name is Ramon. I belong to the international sales team here at AEQ. Okay. What we have in our screen is kind of comparison chart. Okay, from our current options for audio broadcast mixers. From the right to left, we have, first of all, our capital IP. Capital IP comes with 8 or 12 faders. Okay, comes in two versions. It has a compact design. Okay, so I mean, which is not modular. So you have to choose how many faders do you want since the beginning. Okay, 8 or 12. And capital IP comes with a engine called M Core, okay, which has a fixed input and output, but they are enough for any mid-size or small-size radio studio workflow. But at the same time comes with three options, three models, okay, for different another connectivities. You will see later on, okay. Capital IP, the M Core engine is up to 92 inputs and 94 outputs in summary for all protocols. Only 2 RU and up to 20 stereo channel simultaneously of capacity of process. Okay. The other next model, okay, is the Photon Light, okay, which comes with the same engine, call it M Core, but the control surface is modular in this case. So each model comes with 4 faders, and Photon Light is up to 3 models, so it's up to 12 faders, but they are modulars. Okay. The other model that we have regarding Photon family is the Photon Split. Photon Split in this case comes with the same control surface as Photon Light, okay, which is they are comes in modules, okay, but in this case it's up to 24 faders, okay, so it's up to 6 modules, okay, of faders. But the in this case the engine is full modular. Okay, it doesn't come with fixed input and outputs. The Photon Split engine is up to 14 slots. Okay, we have different boards for the engine. Okay, and microphones, analog input and output, AES3, Dante, hybrid telephone, and many other options really with Photon Split. And finally, our top-notch model, which is called Atrium. Atrium is for more demanding workflow requests. Okay, in this case, with Atrium, we are up to 96 faders. Okay, and we can share those 96 faders in up to 6 control surfaces, sharing the same engine. Okay, so it's a very good advantage that we can provide with Atrium. Okay, with only one engine, we are up to 6 control surfaces. Okay. But in case of Atrium, okay, we are up to 1024 input and output, okay, considering or regarding many kind of words, okay. Again, microphones, analog input and output, digital AS3, audio over IP, Dante, Ravenna, MADI, and so on. Many others options with Atrium, okay. So let's start to talk about our famous capital IP, release one of our bestsellers here in AEQ. Okay, capital IP was designed based on our customer needs for a flexible, powerful, and easy to use, okay? But especially a very cost-efficient digital mixer with networking capabilities, okay? In this case, Capital IP is the next model that from our old Capital, only Capital, okay? But in this time, Capital IP has the option for networking. Okay, when I talk about networking, I mean audio over IP networks or maybe MADI. Okay. Okay, thanks to its design, Capital IP adapts perfectly to any workflow, especially for radio. Could be auto control, studio control, television, and sound production, and many others, really. The control surface, as I mentioned before, comes with 8 faders or with 12 faders, and the control surface is independent, okay, from the engine. And as you can see in the picture, in the slide, we can provide a Capital IP in tabletop form factor, okay, or countersong form factor, okay. Countersong is just to integrate in the desktop, good, for example. Okay, following with features, of course, Capital IP is simple, has a simple approach design. Wide option of input and output, as I mentioned before, noiseless, thanks to a natural convention ventilation. The connection between the control surface and the engine, okay, is made through a Cat5 category cable, okay, and it's up to 250 meters. So for those installations with an MCR and remote studio, it fits very well. It comes with an easy and intuitive software configurator, adaptable to any workflow, as I mentioned before, full remote control through another software that we can provide, which is called Virtual Capital. You will see later on. And quick and easy installation. It's very simple, really, installation. But if you need, our customer support, okay, our guys in customer support will be very happy to assist your installation. Okay, Capital IP comes at the same time with classic or mandatory functionalities in a radio studio workflow. On-air signaling, for example, for studio and control rooms, fader start, remote PFL, count mode, tollback, automatic monitors mute, and among many others mandatory functionality in a broadcast radio studios. Okay, you can configure as well, of course, N-1 outputs and multiplex buses at the same time. No problem. Control and studio room monitoring, very important. Also Q bus, okay, or headphone special buses for monitoring. View meters for all signals, any signal to any fader channel, okay, and the option to start with the latest settings or with the default settings. Okay, so let's start to talk about the control surface. Okay, first of all, we have a 100 millimeter faders. Okay, we have a switch on off. Okay, for the channel, and at the same time, it's a light in order to show the current status if you are on air or not. A LED light in order to indicate if any audio effect is applied or is activated in the channel control. Okay, so you will see this light turning on if you have any effects activated. Okay, a Q switch if you want to route the channel signal to a router, to an output bus. Okay, especially in this case a Q. Okay, an OLED display. Okay, in order to show the name of the channel and at the same time the balance level or the panorama level. Okay. A couple of buttons for program and audition routing buses, okay, directly. Okay, and final, a select button in order to get access to advanced settings. Okay, the other area is the control area. Okay, you can see a couple of view meters, the left for program and right for any signal that you want, that you need. Very important, 20 programmable soft keys, okay, for special functionalities, okay. You are up more than 10 functionalities in this case. So you can assign, for example, you can control hybrid telephones or audio codecs, external devices, okay, through any of these keys. You can control as well any other device which can receive general purpose input or output, okay, special routines or eventually routines, okay, that you need, call a snapshot, and several, you will see later on when I show the software, all the functionalities. Okay, a multifunction display, okay, with encoders and buttons related, okay, for advanced settings. This is the area of monitoring where you can select which source you want to monitor. In if the signal will be has to be in the control area or in the studio area. And finally, four push to talk buttons, okay, for direct intercom with the studio or another areas or external lines. Okay, this is the back of the engine. Okay, first of all, we have four input and outputs for microphone or for line signals, for line input signals. Okay, we can provide as well phantom power for those for condenser microphones. Two USB input and output, four stereo input and output for AS3 or SPDF if you need it. 12 analog input, 12 mono analog input, and 8 mono output ports, okay, analog ports, okay. But you can configure it as well as a stereo pair. So you are 6 stereo pairs in input and 4 in case of outputs, stereo outputs. Okay, these are the connections, okay, for control room and studio room monitoring, okay. The cables that you will be using, okay, for the studio and for the speakers, for example, okay, headphones as well through this connector. Okay, below you can see in the front panel of the M core, okay, at the bottom of the slide, okay, you can see that we have a headphone connector, okay, for the operator, special for the operator. Okay, these are two options that we have with that we can provide with the MCore, with the engine. Okay, the first one is called Dante. Okay, for audio over IP networks. Okay, as you can see, we can provide two RG45 Ethernet standard ports for Dante. Okay, we can provide two in order to fit a redundant networking topology. And at the same time, we have the option as well of MADI. Okay, but you have to choose if you need Dante or MADI because both of them are not compatible at the same time. Okay, in the engine. General purpose input and output. Okay, the ports. This is another option. Okay, that we have, which is related with hybrid telephones for POTS lines. Okay, we can provide this model integrated in order to integrate two lines. Okay, in the engine. Okay, and finally a second power supply if you need it. Okay. Okay. As I mentioned before, Capital IP can provide three options for the engine. Okay, two hybrid telephone, two hybrid lines telephone. We can provide MADI 64 input and 64 output, and Dante. Okay, Dante has two versions. We have a version for 16 input and output, and another version for 32 input and output. But I want to mention something special that because of Dante, okay, the capital IP could be integrated to another environments or another systems, okay. For example, intercom system, audio codecs using Dante, playout system as well that you can receive audio over IP through Dante, okay. And finally, very important, interfaces. Dante interfaces in order to expand, okay, input and output for capital IP. So the engine comes with fixed input and output, but you can expand, okay, input and output using Dante interfaces. Okay, well, with this slide, I want to show you that through the special display that we have in the capital IP, we can configure, okay, all the concepts. Although the console comes with a software configurator, we can do any settings, okay, in the console without the software, okay, using this display with the encoders associated. Okay, so it's time to show you a quick review of the software that comes with capital IP. Okay, first of all, I hope all of you is looking very good the software in the screen. Okay, this is the capital IP setup. Okay, this is the configurator software. Okay, it comes with four main sections. Okay, and in this section, for example, in administration section, we can see this panel, okay, where we can connect with the capital IP, for example. Okay, in this case, we can import or export settings. We can read the configuration that we have currently in the capital IP. We can send the configuration that we can make using this software. Okay, and below there is the area. This is the area, sorry, in order to see what licenses you have activated in your capital IP. Okay. Okay, quick review, user levels, okay, we are up to 3 user level for security access, okay, where you can assign any functionality that you need for each of these levels. Okay, in hardware configuration, for example, we have this this section, board configuration, where you can see all the models, hardware model that you have able in your capital IP. We have, for example, the I/O configuration section. Okay, for example, in case of microphones, okay, we can rename the input. Okay, in this case, we have options like this, for example, remote on off in order to say if you need on off to receive, sorry, pulse for an on off functionality from the presenter. Okay, many other functionalities. For example, sorry, in this case, the IO. In the IO, we are in the output options configuration. Okay, we can rename as well the output. Okay, and we can choose the default bus that we want to route this output. Okay, a mixer bus configuration. In this case, we have the option to configure the buses. Okay, which has more than one signal. Okay, so in this case, we have the program, of course, the queue, the multiplex, the n-1, etc. Okay, we can receive NTP clients, of course, for synchronizations. Okay, in this case, in this section, programmable configurations. Okay, we have the programmable keys. Okay, which I mentioned it before. Okay, you are up to all of this functionality. So, for example, keys number 17. Okay, I can assign any of this functionality. This is general propose. Okay, in order to send or receive a pulse. Okay, for GPI or GPO devices. In case, for example, multiplex. Okay, I can assign. Okay, up to 10 multiplex pulses. Okay, to each of these keys. Okay, it could be on latch or momentary performance behavior of the keys. Okay, what else? What else? What else? For example, I can load memories. Okay, we are up to 9 memory or snapshot. Okay, in order to load a special configuration in any time. With this, with codec, for example, we can control, okay, AEQ codecs, okay, or hybrid telephones, okay, through the console, okay. So we can see, the operator can see if a calling is receiving a calling, okay, a call, or even you can assign, okay, the multiplex bus that you need with this key, and so on. Really, with capital IP in the right side, you can see a physical general purpose, okay, but we are up as well up to 5 virtual GPI and GPO, okay, in case you have a device that can receive this kind of pulse, okay, over IP, which is a general purpose over IP. Okay, and finally, the firmware upgrade. Really, this section is up to maintenance, customer support. Okay, you can see here all the problems that you have in that case. Okay, any log. Okay, for trouble. So our customer support will ask for a file that can be generated in this section. Okay, the other software that I want to show you, okay, is the Capital Screen. Very cool software. Okay, this software was designed, okay, for the operators, okay, in order to get fast access, okay, to special functionalities, and of course, in order to see in a more bigger, okay, in a more comfortable way, the view meters, okay. So this is the principal, the main dashboard, okay, of the software. This software is used to be installed in a touchscreen displays, okay, or tactile screens, okay, in order to get more fast access, okay. Well, we can see here in the right side, we have the program audition and a couple of auxiliary view meters. In the right side, we have the MPX, okay, and the Q and the Q output bus. Okay, we have a clock timer, okay, and the top right. Okay, we can see if any of the telephone hybrid in the capital, okay, are on air or not. Okay, if I press this button, okay, I will see our virtual control. Okay, virtual control is a software, okay, that could be integrated in the inside the capital screen, but you can use it separated, okay, if you need it. But in this case, with virtual capital, as you can see, we have 100% of the console. Okay, 100% of the surface control. Okay, all the functionality, all the buttons, okay, all the faders, okay, are virtualized in this software. Okay, so you can see again all the view meters. We can see here all the faders. We can on the right top the 20 programmable keys. Okay, the monitoring control, okay, area, okay, and so on. Okay, and finally, with capital screen, we have access, okay, to main functionality, okay, with principal functionality. For example, in this case, the operator can see very fast, okay, the multiplex output buses, and can see very fast which inputs, okay, are related with each multiplex. For example, in case of memory, okay, the operator can load, okay, very fast, okay, with settings, okay. In case of inputs, okay, again, the operator, okay, very fast, okay, can configure any input. For example, in case of microphones, okay, you have access here for all of the settings for our dynamics audio process, okay. We have compressor, noise gate, limiter. In case of equalization, as well, is the same. Sorry, is the same. Okay, we can do very fast. Okay, any setting. Even we can assign, okay, the fader that we need for this input very fast. Set fader, and that's all. Okay, in case of output, is the same an input. Okay, but in this case, only we can configure the gain. Okay, or if we need to generate a tone. Okay, with these buttons. Okay, in case of mixer, what this is a all information area. Okay, you will see on all the output that you have to configure it. Okay, we have clock and timer. Okay, as I mentioned it before, and well, the IP addresses. Okay, the view meters if we needed full scale or not. Okay, and finally the devices. Devices here, all the capital that are related with the software. Okay, this was a very cool, quick review of the software. Okay, I want to finish the presentation. Okay, mentioning that capital IP again could fit small or mid-size radio studios. Okay, we have in this slide some picture from some customers. Okay, in this case, for example, we have our capital IP working in one of the biggest broadcasters in Spain, called COPE. Okay, and they use currently more than 60 units of capital IP across all the network, all the country. Okay, what else? What else? We have here, for example, an university using capital IP. Okay, in order to teach radio workflow for students. Okay, what else? What else? Well, you can hear, for example, 28 in Australia is a small radio station. Okay, but use capital IP and adapt perfectly. Okay, to the workflow. Okay, so I think no more time. I think it's enough. Okay, for the content of the capital IP. But of course, you are very welcome. Okay, to write us directly if you want, or through any of our dealer. Any information that you need, any additional information that you want. Okay, we will be glad, okay, to attend any question, okay, and of course answers. Okay, Lupe, I think I'm done for today.
Congratulations, Ramon. You have done
Uh,
a really nice presentation.
Thank you.
I do congratulate you for the presentation. It was excellent. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much
you.
for the
Thank you.
presentation and to show our complete functionalities for our capital IP. Okay.
Good.
Now, Ramon, you have some questions from our attendees, okay, from
Oh,
our
yes.
customer friends, okay?
Q&A phase.
So I will start with some of the questions, okay? As I was saying at the beginning, if we are run out of time, don't worry, because all the questions will be formally replied by email. Or if you have any more questions after the session, you can drop any email to marketing@aeq.es and all your questions will be replied in time. Okay, so now let's go to start with the questions, okay? Okay,
Yeah.
we have one question from Anis.
Anis. Yes.
How we can have more than 4 microphones in the Capitol?
Oh, yes. Typical question. Yes. Well,
Yes.
as I said before, the M core, the engine, comes with 4 inputs. Okay, but using an interface, a Dante interface with the Dante option in the M core, okay, you can expand uh, up to 32 if you want. Okay, microphones input. Okay, so that is a very cool advantage that we have with the Dante option. Okay, that we can integrate Dante interfaces in order to expand input and output for the Capitol.
Okay, let's go with another question from Jason. Is possible to purchase the console now and later on to add the hybrid telephone module in the future?
Yes, yes. In case of hybrid telephone, yes, you can do it. It's very easy to do it. We can provide as well some kind of tutorial, okay, for the installation. Okay. Of course, our suggestion is the process could be on charge of a technical. Okay, but yes, it's very easy.
Okay. One question from Abdul. We have seen in our website, in AEQ website, obviously, that we are cooperating with Broadcast Peaks Visual Radio, okay?
Oh yes, 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 yes,
He
yes.
wants
That
he wants you to explain a little bit more about how it is working Broadcast Peaks Radio
yes.
with our digital mixing console, please. If you can give us a clue, it will be great, Ramon.
Yes, 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 yes. For sure, capital IP, because have networking capability, okay, could be integrated with visual radios, okay, especially for broadcast peaks, okay, because we have a development, okay, with those guys, okay, especially for those systems, okay, from broadcast peak. So the integration is very easy, okay. As you can see in my screen, I have a section especially for visual radio here. In this case, you only have to fill out, okay, the IP address, okay, of the system, okay, and you have to buy a special licensing, okay, for capital IP. This licensing will be on charge to send the audio level of the microphones to the system, to the broadcast piece, to the visual radio, okay? And the visual radio, once receive the audio level, the system will be working about the switching of the camera on whatever event that you want. Insert graphics, maybe mute microphones, whatever. Okay, but in case of capital IP, of course, we are 100% integrated with Visual Radio, especially with Broadcast Fix. Okay, and it's very easy as well. It's just to install a licensing, okay, and fill out the IP address.
Good, very good. Another inquiry from Kim. He likes very much the capital screen software, okay? Yes, it is a software that is very popular
Very good, very good.
in our mixing console, capital IP.
Very nice. Yeah, yeah.
I can imagine you already have a capital IP. Why? Because he's asking you if he has the possibility to have a demo option to test it.
Oh, yes, for sure. In fact, when you buy a Capital IP, you will receive a trial version of Capital Screen in the CD, okay, or maybe the stick, or in any case, you can feel free to write us, okay, and we can provide a trial version for Capital Screen and the virtual control software as well.
Okay, very good. Another question from Pete. If he has two studios with capital IP, can they create a tollbar circuit between the two mixing console? And
Oh, yes.
he wants to know if it is complicated.
No, that is not complicated. For example, as I mentioned before, you can use the Dante option, okay, Dante channels, okay, in order to be integrated to intercom system, for example, or you can use any input and any output, especially in monitoring section, okay, in order to provide a special communication through any of the programmable keys. Okay, so for example, you can do a salvo or an order functionality. Okay, so you just push the button, okay, and the operator could talk, okay, with another areas if you need it. But it's very easy. It's not complicated.
Very good. One question from Ibrahim. Ramon, you have mentioned that we can have on the console two auxiliary output buses, but not possible to do the direct writing keys. He wants to know how it's possible to route any input to any of these auxiliary buses.
Well, yes, using any of these programmable keys, using any of these, you can configure, okay, in any of these 20 programmable keys, okay, any special routing, okay, that you need. Could be eventually, okay, you have the latch behavior, for example, or the momentary behavior, okay, so it's very easy to use it to do it through any of these 20 configurable keys. If you need more special direct buttons, okay, in any channel, okay, maybe you can think in our other model, which is called forum, okay, which comes with 4 output routing, okay, program, audition, auxiliary 1, and auxiliary 2, okay.
It has been a really fantastic webinar because there are many questions to reply, okay, but I think
well, I will be glad to answer all.
More than 45 minutes, and I think is a little bit run out of time. We will come back to reply the rest of the questions by mail. And if you have any more questions after we finish the webinar, okay, you can send us as many inquiries or questions as you have to marketing@aeq.es. We will come back to you as soon as possible with a proper reply. Okay. Important. As I was telling at the beginning, we have a survey before you are leaving. Please complete it because it helps us a lot to give us your ideas, your suggestions, and everything together. It will help us to improve our next coming webinars. Please do help us with it, please. Okay. From my side, I thank you so much to everybody on the other side.
Yes, and from my side as well. I'm really grateful for to make this webinar for you. Again, we are here to collaborate. We are here to help. Okay, to attend any question that you have. Okay, just write to us, and that's all. Okay,
As
bye
I
bye.
was starting my introduction, all of you are anytime, at any place, you are always very, very welcome to AEQ. Come back to us anytime. Thank you very much.
Bye bye, people. Bye bye.